Recommendations for getting data for Jigsaw. You'd want to set off one of these temporary emails and using the Tradovate trials. Once you have your temporary email, go on through Tradovate, use any name you want to use. I want to use a comedian I enjoy, Bob Mortimer. Paste in the email, username of choice, Bobby D. Whatever password you want to have. Oh,
Refresh. Nice. Is that all?
once you have your connection to get replays, you want to be able to put in what your account was, which I had as Bobby D. Password I chose. And to make things easier, best to have it on demo and market replay. Okay. Connect to your market replay, and you want to make sure that you download the instruments that you'll be performing with. The CME, the CBOT, the COMEX, and then NYMEX. These are the ones under the CME connections. Just download for the futures. All right, download complete. You can close the window. One of the main things you want to have using is a positions window. These will show you orders and your accounts accounts connected. The strategy manager will allow you to set up strategies, and we can come back to this once we have an idea of a market we want to trade. The next two windows for the alert window and the session manager, these can kind of be ignored. They tend to just be alerts windows just for error messages and such. Oh no, sorry, these are for the alerts regarding I don't use this, yeah. Weird. Session manager is just for choosing out customized sessions, or of course, there's always defaults that default into your chosen markets. This depths and sales window is what you want. This becomes your DOM. Let's go for the ES mini futures. By default, when you open up your window, this is the ones you will get. The default Jigsaw depth and sales. Was it this one? You want to make this full size? Ah, scheiße. Yeah, why is this happening? So when you want to go to your DOM, the main product of Jigsaw, you'll go in. We'll use the S&P mini futures. Right now it's playing back replay data as put into this window. Put it towards today at the open price. All right, once it starts off going from left to right, over here is your alert window, your alert column. In this column, you can place your notes for, say, we'll consider this a current high, and this considering as a current low. Our order column will help us when we begin placing our orders. Yeah, oh, I see what you're saying when you place an order. When you place an order on your order column, it places your position limit and the fact that in the queue we're 169. So it would take 168 orders for us to get our fill. Right-clicking on the column of your order will cancel the order. The volume profile column has a composite of all the volume that has occurred from when we opened. Within see, when you place an order to say you want to get filled, you can drag the order through the order column, or if you have your orders, placing it on touching the price on the price column lets you also move the order around as well. Automatically speaking, clicking the button in the top will open up your order panel, which shows that we are long one with one lot. And if we would like to have a specific order set, clicking SL will make it be a stop limit order, which places an order here. If order crosses through, that would also give us another long. Clicking on stops, placing it behind, this would be your safety stop here. If price comes down, it'll get you out of your order at a loss for 87.50. And limit orders allow you to place them so that you can get out for profits, but leave it on default and it will automatically place the required orders for you. You can click the cancel button to get rid of any active orders in the market, and the flat button to just get out at market. When you're actively trading and you are not quick enough to get through your orders, it's good to automate. Yeah, my mouse is weird. Let's make the strategy called our SPOO strategy. We'd like to have a quantity of 1. Our stops could place 4 ticks away. with our target being 4 ticks away. Make sure to cancel OCO so that your orders get canceled when you finish the trade. So we place our order by finding our named strategy, putting an order into the market, and our strategy comes into effect. Once one of the orders gets taken out, the other one should cancel as well. If you'd like to make a more complex strategy for scales, you don't have another lot tier, we can have the same stops, but a farther target. So now, oh, yeah. So now placing it as 2 orders will activate the strategy so that you have your first scale out, your second profits, and your stops have both lots. Clicking above prices will bring down your limit orders, and clicking below prices will move your stop orders. It takes the nearest order to move them. Within your columns, we have the snapshot columns on the outer sides of the depth. The snapshot columns will display to you the pulling and stacking that occurs in the market. It's hard to follow with the eyes at times, and it uses this as a sort of handicap, a way to give you a chance to get a sense of how orders are going through the market. Within the columns, we have the depth columns. This are the buy orders that are being advertised into the market. These are the sell orders being advertised into the market. Being able to read all the snapshot columns to know how orders are being pulled and added gives you an idea for the sort of advertisement that goes on in the markets. Within columns, these show your or current trades at the bid and the current trades at the ask. This gives you the idea of market orders, as it takes market orders going into the limit orders to move the market. The way that this refreshes is based on this setting here. As prices move back and forth, taking about 5 seconds that it moved originally from that price will reset that column. When prices stay within 2 sets of prices, they'll keep stacking until we move away for about 5 seconds. The outside column is your bid profile and your ask profile columns. These columns display a cumulative of what occurred on the bid and what occurred on the ask. You may reset most any of these columns by the buttons at the top. If you like to clear your alerts, use this button here. Clearing out the total trades on the profile columns, you may use this button here. And clearing out the inside trades, you may use this button here. To add and remove these columns, you just need to click check marks over here. If you need to clear up alert columns, our snapshot columns, our profile columns, and the current trades and bids. An alternative to current trades and bids, the current trade at bid and ask, would be the LTQ column. This is the last traded quantity as a way to show the same idea of trades going in by market. I guess. If you don't like the way that the columns get arranged by default, you take your mouse and you bring it up towards the topmost part of each column. You may hold and drag it over, and that is how you may move your columns around. If you'd like to go back to how Jigsaw sets up by default, look for the factory template. This brings Jigsaw back to the way you would find it when opening for the first time. Another feature involved in Jigsaw, which we clear these off for again, is the momentum tails. Momentum tails show more volatile products the distance of which they traveled within that clearing period. So as things start to speed up, you can note what were the last traded prices before it moved off. The colors are based on settings within your Appearance tab. In the Appearance tab, the tail background colors show the price losing color to indicate the last prices that are slowly not being revisited. To show this better, you can go on to a more volatile product to get a sense for that sort of action. When it comes to customization of your DOM, the Appearance tab allows you to change up your colors found within each column. So if I would like my depth to not be so aggressive, I may change them to more orange tones. One interesting thing about the volume profile as well is they also have the LTQ column, meaning LTQ is part of the column. These colors can be customized within this section down here for neutral and fonts colors. Or if you've already set up your LTQ column a certain way, you can just apply them with this button. Within your profile column, there are different coloring based in profile theory, where the most actively traded price is set as pink by the point of control. We have a VWAP, which is the volume weighted average price, set as an orange, And the colors that shift from lavender to a more green are based on the fact of the value area and the basic histogram color. Some more customization options involving the inside prints is we can have histograms to give you a more visual as opposed to just numbers. This can show us within the recent amount of prints that at 78.75 for the NASDAQ, we had a large 95 lots go through, which could show in this instance trapped sellers. The same feature, of course, with your profile columns. This is a more cumulative, which can be cleared at your dispense. While these ones will clear as prices trade through. An important note with the profile columns is that at the top of the bid profile column, we have the delta. This is the cumulative delta from when your profile column was active. If you clear your columns, the delta will reset and count anew. What can be helpful in a volatile market like the NASDAQ is to not have your sensor be automatic, as this allows you, when you're wanting to place orders, to not have the prices move away from you too quickly. One of the ways to ensure when you are not intending to order is to place off the market enabling orders. This means it's locked, and this allows you to be active. If I look to place an order within the market, say to sell off alongside some of these sellers, I'd be looking to put a sell order here. Okay, that's just bugged up. It should be showing positive numbers here. What the hell? Oh, here it is. Okay, I wanted to fucking reset the whole situation. In a volatile market like the NASDAQ, you want to have your sensor option off. This allows you to place orders more accurately without having the market recenter and causing you to misplace your orders. Like so. The DOM will recenter each time it ticks through 10 prices. This can make placing orders on a volatile product very difficult. So it tends to be best to have this auto center off in that situation. What you may do as well, if your snapshot columns become important and you don't want the massive amount of space this may take up, you can combine the snapshots together into the bid column. This allows you to have the same information with less of the space being taken up. Going back to the factory settings, you can control the amount of depth shown in your product by using this section here. If you have rhythmic data, you may get more depth out of the market, as well as reducing the amount of depth if you would like to just follow value more. But the default tends to be 10. You can also control the snapshot depth if you'd like more prices to be shown on your snapshots with the pulling and stacking. To eliminate these zeros, you want to use your snapshot filter placed at 1, or if specifically you want to see larger depth being added or pulled, you may place it at a higher number. If you make customizations to your profiles, you can save your customizations by going through, saving as, and naming it what you'd like. Finding them within this list, and you can load back almost instantly what your customized workspace was like. Another tool within Jigsaw is the Reconstructed TAPE. By default, it pops off as this, with different colorings for how prices are moving through the market. You can customize those colors as well. Within here, these are your at ask, at bid. At bid means that the price is hit into the bid, which considers as a sell order, with the blues hitting into the ask considered as buy orders. The colorings for above ask and below bid, these signify more initiative, buying or selling. If prices were to take out the current best bid or ask and then jump into the next best available ask or bid, shows initiative on the tape. Sweep orders as well. This would require that if a order here was sold through by one large player, it will appear as a magenta, or if a price was swept through by a large buy order, taking out the whole depth, would show up as cyan. If you would not like to have the sweep colors display, you can tick them off into here. And if you'd like only the tape to display buying or selling based on price actually changing, you can tick it up on here. This will display a more one-sided tapes as prices decide to actually move through. But if you prefer just to see when orders take place on the bid or the ask, you may tick that off. By default, the reconstructed tape, as the name suggests, reconstructs your trades based on the CME as back in 2009, I want to say. They changed the way that orders display through tape. So this will reconstruct the trades to spot big players that might be trying to break up their orders. If you'd like to also have, say, two tapes for the market where one tape displays only buying and one tape displays only selling, that can be customized within each window. to display as sell only and buy only. This will have it so that all buy orders will appear on one tape and all sell orders appears on another tape. A feature as well, if you would like to show block trades, if you find those orders that you want to pay more attention to, we'll say in this instance any order above 10, they will be highlighted through the tape. You can also make alerts to signify
Buy, buy, buy.
putting it to 0 will remove that highlight. Putting this back to all mode. If you'd like to extend more of it down, you can adjust that setting in the amount of rows that are shown on the tape. Within both the tape and the DOM, we have what are called power meters or strength meters. These display certain information within the settings of the DOM. You go towards the power meters tab. Currently displayed is the trades power meter. This shows similar towards where orders are going into market. Hmm. From the time you opened into your power meter. The snapshot power meter, based on the levels you allow in this, shows currently the closest 5 bids and asks and the depth difference between them. This could show when one side is stacking on to shove the market in a certain direction. While the depth power meter shows the total depth within currently 5 prices to show which side might be heaviest. You can take these off if you want a more specific power meter. A feature as well within your power meters is that when you get into positions, it may reset the power meter so that you can pay attention to the to the settings during your trade. This can show you in a sort of backup information to help give confirmation that the trade that you are in has strength behind it. If I am to go long, I would like to see that the trade's power meter has more buyers coming through. If I see that isn't the case, I can look to exit out of the trade. This can also be active only while you're in position by taking on this tab. So that once I'm in a trade, the power meter will be active. The time in sales also has its own power meter. This power meter, similar to the trades power meter, is based more on the settings of your tape. If I were, within my tape, to filter out trades that only were larger than, say, 10 lots, reset my power meter, and this will show me only orders that occur on the tape larger than 10 lots. If you make any customization options to your DOM, to your tape, you as well can also be able to save them within here as well. This is helpful when you want to open up another product or your DOM and your tapes, and you don't want to go through and customize them all over again. One final thing you can use as well within your toolbox is the summary tape. This is not as similar to the recon tape, as this one does not reconstruct your trades happening in market. We want to delve into these features more. What's displayed within this is the time at which trades occur, the price of the bid, the price of the ask, and on each point in that segment, what occurred on it. So in this second here, we had 29 occur on the bid and 14 occur on the ask, and prices came down. You can also click to show the depth at that time when these trades occurred. These happen within the bracket segments of the tape, showing that at that prices similar to the depth, that was what was on as the trades finished off. The summary tape will not change the next row until price moves from current prices. This can help spot when an iceberg order might be going through market, when you see it takes a long time for prices to move to another tick up or tick down. On the right side, we have the cumulative delta from the time you turned on your summary tape. This is useful if you revisit a price with a differing delta. If we open prices, we go up. As we come back down to the open, we want to see a higher delta to give us ideas to go long. The summary tape has its own alerts. They have alerts for a divergence, which can occur when prices are coming down heavily in delta, but prices then tick up. Will be a divergence showing more bullishness. The iceberg orders occur if when you want to have a quantity of say 10, that would indicate a reloading of 10 orders. And just generally a large quantity order for trades you want to pay more attention to that come through the tape. Colors as well can be changed for what is considered the uptick text, the downtick text, and the current trade that is occurring. An interesting way of using this would be to change this amount of rows to just one row, which would give us only the row of current trades that are occurring. This can be used as just a way to help you spot when iceberg situations might be happening. I like to place it on top. And this will keep a track of a record of when that iceberg or reloading situation occurs. But in most cases, you can just rely on that by the depth itself. One final thing to talk about would be the gauges found in Jigsaw. This gauge shows, in average, collected amount of trades that occurred to give you an idea of pace of the tape. And I don't think it works on replay. Yeah, it doesn't work on replay. That's dumb. Ah, shit. Well, that segment's cut then. I think that's it then. Lastly, within the DOM, you can activate a chart considered the auction Vista. This gives you a more visual representation of how the prices have changed historically within the depth. The depth will be considered on its coloring found within the settings of Auction Vista. The levels are defined automatically within Jigsaw to get an average idea of what depth has, what depths would have a larger volume to them. The trade bubbles as well show a sort of delta of each price that's traded through and usually occur on more active activity, as trades happening through here weren't as significant as the selling that occurred within here. Likewise, in this situation, we have buying delta occurring, more buying occurring than selling. Within Oxvisa itself, it has its own indicators found at the top tabs through here. This is a cumulative delta chart showing a visual representation of how delta has changed since the time your your DOM has been open. The volume chart helps you spot spikes in volume. The total depth chart shows a difference of which side had more depth within the amount of depth that gets shown. As currently shown here, there's more selling depth stacked on top as opposed to depth below. The flip chart shows as orders get pulled and stacked. Currently, there's more pulling being happening on the bid side, causing prices to possibly move down. You can undock the Auction Vista from your depth if you want to have a more adjustable view of the Auction Vista. Trades that are placed within your DOM can also be shown placed here by opening the order panel, placing an order into your DOM, and you can be shown here. These can be dragged as well within your auction Vista if you would like to have a, say, a visual price that you'd like to have your orders at. Closing the auction Vista like any window. All the links for Jigsaw and Tradevate will be in the description of this video. Thank you.